are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I've done it again. I have sat there and listened to an excruciating 23 episodes of the podcast, days 178 to day 200. It's funny because the last Boyle Reflects I did, there was a bunch of shit that happened to me in a 2-week span that I was like, fucking hell. The thing that happened with my brother in Bathurst, the fucking car getting crashed. Well, if I had just kept on going for 3 more episodes, 3 more days, I could have added getting my fucking finger crushed at work and breaking it in 2 places to that fucking 3-week period of fucking chaos. There was a lot going on in that little period. Getting my finger crushed, that was the beginning of the end of my crane days as well. It wasn't even in the crane. I was moving this genie hoist and I was trying to lie it on the ground, and I was just so not present back then that I just was fucking just ghosting through days. Not paying attention, just fucking didn't want to be there. And I had this genie hoist and I was lowering it down to the ground and my finger was under it. And I was like, this is very heavy. I'm not too sure when I get lower if I'm going to be able to hold it and get my finger out in time. But I didn't react. I was like, oh, well, we'll see what happens. And I lowered it down. And once it got past a certain point, the weight took over and just crushed my fucking finger. And I remember thinking, this is probably me done. Like, this is a pretty fucking dangerous job. You need to be switched on to a certain extent. And I've just checked out. I'm almost completely checked out. And that's when injuries and dangerous shit starts happening. That's when you're a fucking danger to yourself and others. So this little period's towards the end of 2019. The biggest thing that happened from day 178 to 200 was on day 192, I fucking, at the start of the episode, I fucking pretty much bang on called the fucking pandemic before it happened. November 25, 2019, I'm like, some shit's gonna go down. Can't you feel it in the air? Can anyone else feel it? Anyway, go back and listen to it. So, November 25, 2019, I think it was like December that you started hearing about COVID, late December. If not late December, then fucking early Jan, was it? Or Feb? I can't even remember. I'm looking forward to the COVID days. I'm going to see how fucking consistent I was with everything. I don't feel like I flip-flopped around that much, but maybe I did. In my head, I was like a stoic. But we'll see very soon. I'm looking forward to the COVID days. But I remember when I fucking did that episode, there was just this like feeling I was getting. It was like a depression, but it was like an external one. It was like forced upon me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? There was a different weird vibration I was picking up. I can clearly remember it. I was going up the escalator at fucking Coles in Camberwell. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Well, that fucking feeling I was getting then, I'm fucking getting it now. That same weird external depression type thing, like a heaviness. I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, I was depressed a few weeks ago, and that was like, a lot of it was me, but there was also a bit of it that wasn't me. But I was like, if I can take care of my shit and get it sorted, then that will probably go away. But it hasn't. Like, I'm pretty alright now. Like, the shit that was making me internally depressed a few weeks ago has pretty much gone, but I've still got that fucking heaviness, that weird external heaviness. And I was speaking to my wife about it as well, like maybe a week ago. I was like, I don't know, I'm fucking feeling weird. Something's amiss. I don't know what the fuck it is, but can you feel that? And she's like, yeah, I feel it. It's weird. And she was like, it's kind of like the whole world is depressed. It is kind of like the whole fucking world's depressed. Maybe it's all the COVID shit coming home to roost finally. The lockdowns, the bullshit, the lies, the fucking misinformation, the negativity. Maybe it's all that. Maybe there's like a limit to how much you can fucking even take of that. Maybe it's AI in the fucking background just ready to fucking kick off. I don't know. It kind of feels like there's going to be a switch flipped in the not too distant future and everything's going to change like almost instantly. I don't know. Anyway, if you just vaguely say this stuff enough, you're going to be right some of the time. But I definitely feel weird, and I definitely felt weird then. But other than that, on day 200, I do like a little bit of a reflection thing, and I go back and I start doing the artist's way again, which I'm also going to go back again in the not too distant future and do again for like the 5th or 6th time. Anyway, on day 200, I go back to the artist's way and I find a sheet of paper from 3 years before then. So from 200 days, 3 years from then. So I was full drinking back then. And I read it, and at day 200 of being sober, I've still got all the problems that I had 3 years prior. And those problems that I still had in day 200, well, I still have those problems in day 1,000. 1,400 and what is it? 64? Still have many of those problems. I feel like I am only starting to like address those problems in the last like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Seriously, this is how the timeline of this fucking whole thing goes. In your head, you think it's like a linear progression just to the moon, just fucking almost a vertical line. But in reality, fucking, there's a lot of problems you gotta fucking address. There's a lot of fucking 1 step forward, 4 steps back for a while. Anyway, that's another episode of fucking Boyle Reflects. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a tough one to do because I hate fucking listening to my voice. But anyway, fucking that'll do for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around and I'll see you the fuck later.